Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I've been busy working on that giveaway guitar, but I've come to a point where I need your help again. It's time to decide what rosette we're going to use on this guitar. So I went back and I looked at all the pictures from all the different rosettes my students have come up with over the years, and I picked out 4 of my favorites. I'm going to show each one of them to you guys and let you guys decide which rosette we're putting on this guitar. But I think I already know which one's going to win. Then I'm also going to get back in the shop and do a little bit more work on the giveaway guitar, and got a couple surprises for you too. It's time for us to decide what we want to use for a rosette. Well, why is the rosette choice such an important factor? Well, it sets the mood and the tone for the rest of the entire guitar build. Every other decision we make, we have to take in mind what the rosette looks like and what the wood that we used for the back and the sides are, and we can't stray too far from that. If we start using one color in the rosette and one color for the back and sides and 3 or 4 other colors for different things, it starts to look like a Partridge Family bus, and nobody likes the Partridge Family bus. Well, maybe the Partridge Family, but anyways, let's get back on point. We want the guitar from start to finish to flow and look like it's all one complete unit and like everything is meant to be there. We don't want anything to stand out of place. So the rosette is really critical. What we do now will determine a lot about what we do later on. I've got 4 really cool choices for you for rosette. All of these were actually designs that my students came up with, and I'm kind of borrowing them, and we're going to use it for this. The first rosette is, when I first heard this idea, it just blew my mind. I thought, why had I never thought of this before? It's so simple, yet so cool. Let me just show it to you. It's really neat. As you can see here, this guitar rosette is made with guitar strings. I mean, why haven't people done this before? To me, this is just a really neat idea. Now, we don't necessarily have to use the same pattern that Steve used here, but I like the idea of using the guitar strings in a guitar rosette. Now, one thing I would change from his design to ours is I don't think I would use mahogany for the background color on this. I think walnut would be better since we have walnut for our back and our sides. So we want to try and tie things together. That should probably be walnut, and the strings will still be strings. The second option was also designed by a student of mine about a year or so back, but it wasn't completely her idea. She found this design on the internet, and it's really not a set design, just more of an idea. And it kind of follows along the idea of stained glass windows. Bits and pieces, when they join together, they create a picture. In this case, we're just creating a picture of a rosette, just a round object. But as you can see here, it's a really neat idea. Now, there's never any 2 that are exactly the same. Everyone's always different. We will use walnut rather than purple heart, but you get the idea. Just a kind of a randomized pattern going on around there, and it's quite simple, but it's a fun looking little pattern. Our third option you might have seen in some of the earlier videos when I picked up this guitar top. This is actually Dave, one of my current students. He's building 2 guitars right now. If you can see that, it's just kind of a random block, but they're a little bit more precisely placed. There's actually an inner circle and an outer circle, and then he's cut them into 20 degrees, I think it's 20 degrees, little segments in there, and then he's notched them so they fit together nice and tight. So that's also a possibility. I think it's really cool. It's kind of classy, and it's modern looking. So if you like the modern look, you want to keep it kind of simple, that's a way to go there. The last option I'm showing you is without a doubt my favorite, and I think this one's going to win hands down. It just makes sense. We're making the back and the sides out of walnut. Well, what do walnuts produce? I mean, what do walnut trees produce? Walnut nuts, right? They fall off the ground just like pecans or any other nut. Well, when you slice a walnut shell, you get patterns that look like what you find here in this rosette. The student that came up with this idea got it from his grandfather, sort of. His grandfather had a lot of walnut trees on his property, so he tended to make a lot of gifts and toys and things like that for the grandchildren out of the walnut. So Josh decided that in tribute to his grandfather, he was going to come up with a rosette that was made out of walnuts. And not walnut wood, but the walnut shells. And as you can see, it's really unique design. Also, if you look at those four corners, the four pointy parts in the corners, they kind of look like little alien faces. Now, since we have a baby alien in the back of our walnut set, I thought maybe you guys might want to put some baby aliens around the rosette in these walnut shells. Obviously, we would change the background color to more of a walnut color rather than mahogany, which is, I believe, what he used in his. But just to bring our colors a little bit closer, tie them in a little bit better. But you get the idea. If we use the shells, we can come up with a really cool looking rosette that just flows perfectly with this type of guitar. So there's your four choices. We've got the guitar string guitar rosette, which is just an absolutely cool idea. We've got the Kelsey's version of a stained glass window, which is a nice, fun, unique type pattern every single time. We could use the modern, classy kind of look that Dave's using on his guitar, but just switch that out for walnut wood instead of ambrosia maple. Your last option is the walnut shells in the rosette with the walnut background and just making a little alien face or something in there somewhere. So, is it up here? So go up here and vote. I'll make sure I'll put some arrows there. So go up there. So click on the thing up here, wherever it is. I'll put a big arrow up there so you can find it. But click on that up there so you can cast your vote for what type of rosette that you want to see. All right, this showed up sooner than expected. I'm so excited. This guitar stuff's gonna have to wait a second. This just showed up at my front door. And I know you're wondering, what is this thing? Just a second, let me put another light on here. I don't know if that's going to help or not, but it's not going to hurt. So let's open this thing up. Let's open it up, and I guess this is the top, sort of. What is it? What could it be? Buddy, what is this? Huh? Oh, yeah. You like this, don't you? Oh, these are weird ones. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. Okay. What do we have here? This is... Oh, this is heavy. This is a lot bigger than I expected. But we can put that aside for now because that is not the important part. Oh, and it did come with one of these. All right. Wasn't sure it was in the picture, but you never know from pictures on Amazon. Yeah, that's there. That's there. Little squeezy thingy. One of those stress things. You're not under stress. Yeah. That's there. Little thing. This is all on a package. It was all one big kit. Okay. Oh! That might be... I might have got an extra one. That's cool. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, got those. Oh, yeah. Those are nice. Oh, there's still more. The big box. These are the... Oh, I'm so excited. Here's the big thing.